Hey, you guys, it is me. It is me, yours truly, Lord Blue Eyes, Frankie G. And I was asked by a very good friend of mine if I wanted to participate in making a video. His name is Hijinks. You guys can go check him out. I will post his link in the description. Really good friend, excellent videos. He just did a video on his second channel that listed his five favorite actors that played villains. Um, when we talked about it, he mentioned most of his were going to be slasher type villains. So therefore, I'm going to do the same thing. Our lists are going to be way different. I've seen his, and his is awesome. Um, but we have some different tastes and views in movies, but they work well together. He's taught me a lot, and he's pretty awesome. I like a lot of the reasons why he picked his top five, and I'm going to go and try to explain why I picked these top five for me. You guys are going to see a huge, I guess, not similarity, but there's a theme, I guess, with the ones I like and why I like them. Um, his is probably going to be more along the lines of what most people probably would like, and mine are a little more obscure. So, without further ado, let's see if your five favorite actors or villains made it to the list. As you can see, the first picture I have here with the top five actors, it has like your typical guys like It and Freddy and Ghostface and Leatherface and a bunch of other people. So, in that picture, there is one in there I didn't feel was a slasher movie, but it has Hannibal Lecter in there. I will say that if I had to do a five overall horror, he would probably be in there. But this is more geared towards slasher. So, and I didn't feel he was more of a slasher. So, without further ado, let's get into the first one. And if you guys know me, you guys should definitely know that this is coming. But my very first one is. Let me get into that. Oh my gosh, why is my thing not working? Hold on, guys. I just had a total computer failure because I updated. Okay, here we go. I had updated my slides, guys, so I apologize. But the first one here is Derek Mears, guys. Um, he's played multiple roles. I know Hijinks, when he was talking, he wanted to have people that had multiple roles so he could see that they've done more than just one thing. Um, Derek Mears probably hasn't been seen in a lot of things that you guys are aware of, other than Friday the 13th, 2009, where he played Jason, which he is my absolute favorite Jason out of the entire franchise, bar none. I think the intensity that he brought was phenomenal. I absolutely loved his body language and his mannerisms, the way he looked. You could feel everything, and you can just see it, and it was actually terrifying to me. His intensity and his overall appearance was very creepy. Not just that he had the mask on and he looked grungy and whatever, and he had blood on him, but he's a huge, intimidating force. He's been in other movies too. He played one of the predators in the movie Predators. He's done a couple other things in his past. He actually was part of a group that was nominated for an award for stunts back when they did Kingdom of Crystal Skull, the Indiana Jones movie. He was part of a group that was nominated for that. He also was nominated for the 2009 Friday the 13th Jason as the best villain with the MTV Movie Awards. Now, I don't put a lot of stock into MTV Movie Awards. They're really mainstreamy, but for him to be nominated within that mainstream group, I find that to be fantastic. Now, he wasn't nominated in any of the horror uh, groups like that some of these other people were in, but he definitely deserved it. He is the reason why I absolutely think Friday the 13th 2009 is my favorite slasher, because I love everything about him. He is currently working on becoming the Swamp Thing for DC's new series, because DC has a channel now that you can stream shows and different things on, and he is the new Swamp Thing. I think he's going to be pretty awesome. I think he actually has acting parts in it as well. He, I think he plays like a soldier or something. I'm not really sure how it's going to play out, but he will be in there and he will be the Swamp Thing. So, um, let me know your thoughts on that one. I absolutely love him. I think he's the best Jason. Most people are going to go with Kane Hodder, and in fact, I think that's respectable. But he's Kane Hodder to me is not even probably in my top three for Jason's. That's where I differ. So, but without further ado, let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, this is Tyler Mane. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tyler Mane. He played Sabretooth in one of the X-Men. So he was a villain there, but that's not a slasher movie. I get it, guys. I just wanted to put in there that he played a villain in a prior movie. So he does have some acting chops. I picked him, though, because he played Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He is phenomenal. I mean, the look is amazing. He's ginormous. The guy stands at I think like 6'8" or something ridiculous. He's so huge. He's bigger than Mears. In fact, I seen a picture of them together, and he almost dwarfs Mears. It's amazing because Mears is huge. He's a big guy. He's like 6'5", I think. So Tyler Mane is got to be every bit of 6'8" or something. But he's a monster of a man. Um, he's been in a couple different things. He played Ajax in Troy, so he was a villain there. But again, it's not a slasher movie. But the attitude that he brings to Michael is so scary. It's the scariest Michael Myers out of the entire franchise for me. The most intimidating. Every scene that he's in is so intense to me. And when you watch them, there's a couple scenes where there's just so much aggression. And with him being ginormous, it's oh my god. Like when he's in taking out the trucker guy in the bathroom, oh my god, it's just phenomenal. And then there's a scene in part 2 when he's in the hospital and he kills the nurse, and that whole hospital scene is one of the scariest scenes I've seen in a slasher movie ever, outside of the scene where he kills the cop's daughter in part 2, the bathroom scene. Now that is so intense. Like it's one of my all-time favorite scenes, emotionally and just fear-wise. And I think without Tyler Mane playing the part, you couldn't have this intensity. Yeah, there's that creepy stalkerness of the other Michael Myers that are in the other movies, but none of them have this intensity. And yeah, I would be scared, don't get me wrong, by any of the other Jasons or any of the other Michaels, but there's something about these guys that is beyond frightening. Like the other ones, I'd probably be scared, but I would try to run or fight. And with these guys, if you see them, the hulking, massive monsters that they are, I'd probably just pee my pants and sit there and die. I'd probably scream and cry. I mean, I don't know. You want to try to fight and run, but dude, Tyler Mane is just sick. He's so big and just intense. So I absolutely love him. So there you go, guys. Those are my first two. All right. If you knew anything about my 31 ranking, you would understand that I probably would pick these guys. And if you knew anything about me, you know that those are my favorite slasher movies of all time. Those three movies, the Friday 13th 2009 and the Halloween Rob Zombies 1 and 2 are my favorite slashers. So no surprise there, guys, but I hope you understand at least why I think they're the best. All right, so next, moving on. Here's where the theme starts, guys. Sid Haig. Now, if anybody knows anything about horror movies, Sid Haig is amazing. He's a master. He plays the clown in the Devil's Rejects and House of Thousand Corpses and The Three from Hell. Now, I've seen all three movies. All three are fantastic. They're Rob Zombie's best movies. Um, Sid Haig steals the scenes when he is in them. He is phenomenal. He has these lines where he hops in a car and he's telling this kid, he's like, "Did you find clowns funny?" And he just goes off. And then he hijacks a car and he's like, "For official clown business." And but his acting is so good in every one of these scenes. He's what makes the clown awesome. He's just so good of an actor. Now, if you've seen the three movies with him in it, like the Rob Zombie and stuff, the final one with the Three from Hell, he's only in it briefly, guys. That's because of his health. If you saw the last picture I just had up was him from Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. Now, this picture was him from Three from Hell. Now, he's real intense. The scene, he's only in like one or two scenes, and they're short, but his intensity is so amazing. His delivery of the lines, his facial expressions are so good that those scenes, even though he's in it for such a brief time, they are amazing scenes. They are so good. They bring such a dramatic feel to the movie, and it's awesome. Unfortunately, Sid Haig is no longer with us. He actually passed right while filming was going on. Like he couldn't do the complete filming. Actually, I'm sorry, not while the filming was going on. Right before it was released. I apologize. He couldn't continue with filming because he was sick. He was actually in the hospital during the filming of the movie. He was asked to do the movie a year prior, and he was in normal health. Like he looked the way he normally looked. But then when they decided to finally do the filming, he was sick and in the hospital. So they had to keep rewriting. Rob Zombie had to keep rewriting it to try to get him in it. And then he was able to do a couple scenes. He had him for like a day to do scenes. And the fact that he was only there for a short period of time, he absolutely delivered. Like he crushed the scene. Um, he's been known. He's gotten multiple awards and nominated for several throughout his career for like a bunch of different movies. The Devil Rejects. He won the Chainsaw Award at Fangoria. He was nominated for Best Villain in Devil's Rejects. He got the Best Actor award for Devil's Rejects. He won for House of a Thousand Corpses as Best Supporting Actor. He was in a movie called Cynthia where he won Best Supporting Actor. Several other movies. He's won Horror Icon of the Year back in 2012 from the Louisville Fright Night Film Festival. He's won Scream Awards for Most Vile Villain with Devil's Rejects. He shared it with everybody in the group from the Devil's Rejects, which is Leslie Easterbrook and Sherry Moon Zombie and Bill Moseley. All of them are phenomenal. So, without going into like a huge spill, he's a huge icon and he's going to be sadly missed. But he was phenomenal. If you haven't seen the movies, check them out. Even if you don't get to check the movies out, check out the scenes with him in it if you can. He's phenomenal. He steals the scene every time. All right, guys, continuing the theme and this top five. The next one is Richard Brake. Okay, this guy is probably not well known at all. If you, again, the theme, Rob Zombie, if you watched any Rob Zombie movies, you would know who Richard Brake is. Okay, he's been in a couple other things. He's not real big. He's kind of new to the scene, but he's really good. He delivers in the scenes. He's one of those actors that every scene he's in, he's almost like a preacher, right? His things are very poetic in the way he talks. Like he's very evil and very sinister, but everything he says is very poetic. Now, if you can get past the language with Rob Zombie, the dialogue in the movies are very good. It's actually the banter between the characters is phenomenal. It's just that he just overdoes it with all the foul language, and I don't think it's necessary. You don't need it because You can say things without having to use vulgarity. But the scenes that Richard Brake is in, again, he's a scene stealer. He was in 31, which I think is probably where he got his break within the Rob Zombie movies and in horror. The character he plays is like this top killer in 31. And the picture that's up right now, the scene that he delivers there is the beginning of the movie, and it is phenomenal. It's actually kind of long, a long scene, but he just goes on. He has this speech that he gives, and it's creepy and it's awesome. The acting ability that he has and the delivery is great, and his look is creepy as hell. I mean, he fits this perfectly for horror movies. Um, he was in the movie Three from Hell. He actually is one of the main characters because Sid Haig passed, and his health at the time. He wasn't able to be in the movie, so they had to bring somebody in. So Rob Zombie brought in Richard Brake since he did 31, and he did such a good job. And he really is excellent in Three from Hell. He fits into group perfectly. Um, One thing about Rob Zombie, I will say, is his visual style is great. It makes the movies, and his actors make the movies um, usually. Now, his wife, so. She's a little over the top in Three from Hell, but Richard Brake is fantastic. Him and Bill Moseley like rock it out every scene they're in the between the two of them, back and forth, talking about being Bogart or I forgot the other guy's name, uh, but they talk about which one of us is going to be Bogart. Humphrey Bogart. They're talking about a movie, but their banter is amazing. His acting is phenomenal. He does such a great job in horror, and I'm looking forward to seeing more movies with him. And he was he was nominated for Best Actor in 31 with the Blood and Guts UK Horror Award, but he didn't win. And he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in The Chameleon, and he was nominated again for 31 as Best Supporting Actor for the Chainsaw Awards with Fangoria. Uh, he did win the Fright Meter Award for Best Supporting Actor in the movie 31. So he does have some really, really good skills. And if you really love horror, he's the man for you. Okay, my last one. Again, keeping with this theme because these guys are phenomenal actors. I love this guy. He is probably your number one horror villain actor, in my opinion. And that's Bill Moseley. Bill Moseley is like the king of horror now. He is phenomenal in everything he does. He's in all the Rob Zombie movies, and he's been the main character in the House of Thousand Corpse, Devil Rejects, and the Three from Hell. He's hilarious in scenes. He's so likable for a villain, and unfortunately, you don't want to like him. You want him to die, but at the same time, he's so likable. You almost root for him. Um, he's got such a great look. He is just he's another one that his lines and his delivery are just almost poetic, and he gives these speeches, and he's like, there's a scene where he tells somebody like, um, I I forget what it is, but he's like, you better, the next thing's coming out of your mouth better be some freaking Einstein stuff or something or whatever. I forget the line. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it's from the Devil's Rejects. But he's so good, and each scene he he just delivers with his facial expressions, his acting, his delivery of lines. He's perfect. There's no scene that he's in that I don't like at all or feel he was over the top or he didn't deliver or he fell short. Um, I feel he fits the parts perfectly, and I can't wait to see him in a lot more stuff. He's done a lot. I mean, he has a extensive career, and he's been in so many movies, but he's also won awards. He actually he's won the Chainsaw Award in Devil's Rejects. He was nominated for Line That Killed, like the best one-liner. Oh, here, that's the line. It was Boyd. The next words out of your mouth better be some brilliant bleeping Mark Twain bleep. So, um, that's it's phenomenal because the other guy's like, wait, da da da, and he's like, nope, man, the next word's out of your mouth, and he like tells him, but he delivers. So he was nominated for an award just for that line alone. He was nominated for Best Actor for a movie called Dark Road 79 back in 2017. And that was the Independent Horror Awards. He won the Scream Award for Most Vile Villain in The Devil's Rejects. And again, he shared that with the group, like Leslie Easterbrook and Sherry Moon Zombie. Um, but he is amazing, and he looks different in each movie. Like the very first one, he's younger. He has some like crazy looking hair, but he fits the role. Like he was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and I think when they did House of a Thousand Corpses, they kind of like went with that vibe and that feel and that look, and he kind of has that look more in the first one. But then he kind of evolves throughout the rest, and he really, really is just amazing. Um, he's probably out of everybody here my favorite actor in the horror movies. But I absolutely love all of these guys for different reasons, and I hope you guys like them too. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the five that I picked. If you hated them or if you liked them, please don't judge if you don't like Rob Zombie movies or you don't like the Rob Zombie because of the foul language. Um, I mean, that's your right, but I hope you don't hate the acting because of those words. The lines are still pretty phenomenal. The preaching is phenomenal. The acting is phenomenal. And for the other guys that don't really say a lot, their mannerisms and their skill is just amazing how they bring the characters to life. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to go check out Hijinks. I will drop his link in the description so you can see his top five, and then you guys can let me know what you think between his and mine or whatever the case may be. But I love you guys. Take care. Have a wonderful night. And yeah, peace. Love you. Bye.